Casting will be a thrill. Grandpa and chill, grandson and friends. Grandpa and chill in full effect. We talk about it all, yeah, put it all on the set with that pet craze too. We chillin' with Rosie, come through, stay tuned, yeah, listen closely. Cause this the millennials and the silent generation coming together, discussion in rotation. This is Grandpa and Chill.
Mike Tyson takes care of carrier pigeons.
I've heard of that. Oh my goodness, there it is. Who is that on your shoulder?
Yeah, that's Rosie.
Rosie, what beautiful, that yellowish and that bronze. Very unique colors there.
Yeah, the other birds are actually more colorful than this one. This one is the least colorful of the four, but she's nice. Hi, Rosie.
Those colors like that. It feels like very medieval.
Do you have a favorite animal, Spencer?
Well, I live with Pearl, the husky dog, queen of the neighborhood. So I have the strongest connection with dogs. Yeah. But in terms of exotic animals, bats are really cool. They look like dogs. Sloths are cool.
You wanna let the audience know who you are? We can start recording and all that stuff.
Yeah, my name is Spencer Jezewski. I'm a filmmaker. I've known Brandon for the past decade or so. We've made a few movies together. We're lifelong collaborators in my eyes, and I've recently started teaching. I've been teaching at an elementary school, a few minutes walk from my house, and I'm just starting up a third grade class in the next couple weeks. So I'm lesson planning for this new group of kids, and still thinking about movies, and don't know how it's all gonna entwine, but right now, just one day at a time, and enjoying the rainy weather. But thank you for having me today.
Yeah.
Spencer, you said you teach elementary school. What do you teach? Do you teach acting or something else?
I've been working as a substitute teacher in long-term positions. So this last semester, for half the year, I taught a kindergarten class that didn't have a teacher, and then for the second half, I taught an English class for a middle 6th and 7th grade class for the remainder of the semester. These are classes that were either like overbooked, there were too many kids, and they didn't have a teacher to hire. So I filled in the position.
How do you like doing that?
Yeah, it's I'm just starting, so like when I started with the kindergarten class, it was the hardest job I've ever had. But I feel like that's the most important age, and like the biggest impact that you can have. And I love the kids, and some of these kids are just so special, and just hearing about their lives is a really important thing. So it feels meaningful to me. And I'm going to be teaching for the whole year with this third grade class coming up, and we'll see what I don't know what I'll do after that, but that's my plan right now. Yeah.
I worked as a sub for a few years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I started off, I was just doing day-to-day stuff, going to different schools. That's a fun dynamic too, just exploring different parts of LA that I had never been to. But I lucked out with these are schools that are literally 5 minutes away from where I live, and it's cool to.
What school system are you with?
It's LAUSD. It's the public school system.
Grandpa, you lived in LA, right? You lived everywhere.
I did. Mm-hmm. I lived there for a short time. No, I actually was there about 4 years.
Whereabouts did you live there?
I lived in two areas. One which was outside of Los Angeles. I lived in Brentwood,
Okay.
and I lived in Palm Springs,
You did. Okay.
which is really not Los Angeles, but
My UCLA friend ended up moving out to the desert, so I would go to Brentwood when he was at UCLA, and then once he moved out to Joshua Tree area, spent time in Palm Springs as well.
and I also lived when I first went to LA. I think I lived on. Is there a Franklin Avenue?
That's where I went to elementary school.
Yeah, Franklin Avenue. I think I lived there for a short time in like a motel. It's kind of a apartment motel type place.
Off of Commonwealth Avenue is like that's literally where my mom and
And I worked for the I worked at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel as a serving meals and cleaning up, doing the whole 9 yards for the Academy Awards Committee and ex-prize fighters.
wait,
And the Academy Awards Committee was mainly attorneys.
the voters, you mean
Pardon?
the voters?
No, I'm think the ones who organized the Academy Award, the people that organized it.
Got it. And what about prize fighters?
They were ex-prize fighters. They would give them like a meal once a week.
Do you remember seeing anything?
But I had to set up the tables and serve the food and clear the tables and do everything myself.
Do you have any memories of some strange scenes in any of those rooms?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Do you have a memory of any strange scenes in those Hollywood Roosevelt hotels?
Not really, but the hotel, the Hollywood Roosevelt, was owned and run by a Jewish rabbi and his wife at the time.
Mhm.
I'm going back probably, I don't know, 40, 50 years ago.
Yeah. And do you remember any conversations with them?
Not so much. I was more just listening. If you're talking about the Academy Awards Committee, as I said, they were primarily attorneys, from what I can remember, making decisions on the operation of the
Why'd you move
Academy
to LA,
Awards.
Grandpa?
I think at the time I was drifting. I lived in different places. I lived in Florida, and I lived in California, and I lived in Oregon. And what I would generally do is I'd put up a map, and I'd put a pencil in the little hole on a key and spin it, and wherever it landed with direction, that would be the direction that I would go.
Really?
Wow, I didn't know that either.
No, you didn't know a lot of things, Brandon.
We'd love to see it. It sounds fun.
Wait, how old were you when you were doing that?
At that time, I was still pretty young. I was probably, I'd say, late 20s or early 30s, probably your 30s, in my 30s.
What were you hoping would happen, or was it just for fun?
I don't know if I really had any particular idea. Now, I did work in Los Angeles. I worked for a film company, and they called me the stage manager. But the only thing I can remember doing was schlepping big Mitchell motion picture equipment around, cameras and lighting and all this stuff. And it was more like I was a security guy watching their equipment and bringing it out to the set. But they called me a stage manager. I don't think I was a real stage manager.
Yeah.
LA's interesting because
It was called Wakeford Orloff. They did commercials for Revlon, Honda, Afro-Sheen, different. Go away. Bird is chewing away on my. Go away.
Yeah, I come to the aha moment that you're living with 3 dinosaurs in your house, and they're just tearing up your house. And I don't know. I just forget that they're just little. They're just that's crazy.
He's angry.
Yeah, they're crazy.
At me now.
Hmm.
So Spencer, you said that you're a producer for movies or for shows. Am I correct? Producer or director or
Yeah,
whatever.
I
So what kind of genre do you prefer? What do you like to do?
I think I'm interested in tapping into making something that feels like you're kind of having a dream, right? It feels realistic and tangible, like feels like this world, but things can maybe evaporate and become lead to mysteries and unexpected alleyways and meetings with characters that maybe exist between this world and the next. I don't know. I think about like what happens after you die a lot, and other realms of being, and I try to bring that into the stories.
I guess the only way you're going to find out what happens after you die is to die.
Like,
In reality.
mm-mm.
I mean, a lot of people think they know, but
I thought you
I
thought
don't
you
know
knew.
about that.
Yeah, I don't
I don't know. I think maybe your relatives that had passed away, you joined them. I don't know. Who knows? One of your guests once said that you become part of the mind of the greater mind as possible. But again, I don't think anybody really knows whether there's anything after we die or there is something. We don't really know. I happen to believe that we do have a soul, and it is aside from the physical being in worldly reality.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think who can know incontrovertibly, and to to put it into firm word, right? Like we're just humans. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've had the most, feel like whenever I go to sleep, a lot of the time, a lot of my dreams are all connected to like the same like city. Like I seem like I always go to like a similar place or something. So in my spiritualism, I guess, is connected somehow to whatever this state of wherever we go when we're sleeping somehow seems related to the death dimension. I don't know.
Yeah, imagine if you come back and you're back with all your relatives that died. Oh my God, look at what I'm back with them again, or or it's just.
Yeah, to just be trapped in the room with the same people you saw during your life would be quite the twist.
What are you thinking, Phines? You look very serious.
Oh, I'm thinking about Spencer. I think one question is who the color scheme for your room? Who did you do that? You pick that?
I can't hear.
Did you pick your color scheme in your room? That's what I'm asking them. The color scheme.
This used to be my mom's room. I live in the house where I grew up, but my mom passed away a few years ago. So this was her room, and this is one of the most of the rooms in the house are white, but she really liked the color turquoise. So this was the room that she painted, and the curtains too. So yeah, no, I think
I like it. No. I like it. Well, like where you're talking, I was just trying to put pieces together, and I'm like, okay, Spencer, when you talked about teaching and the importance of it, which you talked about why it was important, but you can tell it's really important to you. Like it really weighs on you that you care about the kids and they're growing up, and which I also think is funny because you also think very deeply about death, and it makes you think of like, do you like Tim Burton? You like Tim Burton films?
I grew up on Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have such a gentle but like this dark vibe to you. It's really cool. That's what I was thinking about, Grandpa. I was trying to piece apart Spencer.
I love that movie so much.
Which one?
Nightmare Before Christmas. When I was a kid, I don't do it anymore, but I'd just keep the VHS in the player and play it. Like I'd watch these movies like literally 100 times. now I watch a movie and even if I like it, I'll watch it maybe one more time for the rest of my life. But back when I was a kid, I would just obsessively watch things like every single day, watch the same movie over and over again.
I feel like that. Yeah, my sister had the a cassette of like Bring It On, and I feel like I saw that movie so many times.
Pretty good one.
Yeah, but also I don't think that like now I feel like it's wasting time almost watching a movie twice because there's so much out there. Back then it's like I didn't know that was that many movies out there. I can watch this 20 times.
And it's crazy to watch something. Once you watch something at least 5 times, like that thing is tattooed in your brain. Like even still watching, if I watch Nightmare Before Christmas, it's been a long time since I have. Or if you watch Bring It On, it seems like it's been a while since you have. Like,
I know the Mickey song. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. There's somewhere in that. I don't know if it's somewhere in the end of the movie, but that is like ingrained in my head.
Just like you have that stuff memorized, and it'll be stuff like we'll remember the way a door sounds, when they close it on screen or something. Like these weird details that just stay with you.
Yeah. I mean, we just brought up Hey Arnold episode that.
Yeah.
I don't remember last time I ever even.
I haven't thought about that since you brought it up, and I watched it. That's it's like a tragic, tear-jerking episode. I remember that.
Yeah.
How lonely that character was. And just what a mysterious way to.
Do people in your generation even like relate at all to movies like Cat on a Hot Tin Roof? Are you familiar with that?
I am. I don't know if that maybe I saw it as a kid, but it's not something that has stayed with me.
With Paul Newman and Burl Ives and
yeah,
Elizabeth Taylor, I think.
I don't think I don't even know if I've seen it, to be honest. Yeah,
it's a great movie. I mean, it was one of my favorites, but it just seems that today that young people are not into the same films that I was into. When I was a kid, a young man, I had a friend whose dad owned several movie theaters, or actually it was his grandfather. And the studios changed where they only gave their films to certain theaters that were involved with them. So his grandfather basically, or his father, lost being able to get the best films. But he used to take us to the theater quite often. We didn't have to pay or anything because it was their theaters. And he went into acting and moved to Hollywood, and then he moved to somewhere near Boston. I don't know exactly where, but he's an artist now. He does art, does shows in New York and this and that. And we always thought he was a little nuts when he was young, but I think he's a fairly talented guy. I don't know what I'm saying has anything to do with anything, but he's an interesting.
Why was he a nutty character?
Pardon?
Why do you describe him as being nutty?
Well, I think at the time, I'm looking back now to the late 50s and early 60s. I think he was smoking pot most of the time, and he was kind of way out. If you understand what I'm saying, he was kind of out in outer space. But he's a smart guy, and he's had several exhibitions in New York at some of the large studios of his artwork. His name is Barry Gerson, but he's a friend of mine, and I guess he sort of, I don't know if he gave up the acting situation altogether and just went into art.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have any films? You mentioned that you have a film on the horizon or something that you're working on?
Yeah, Brandon and I shot the largest movie I've made yet over this past summer. Brandon lived with me in July. I think the first shooting day was on July 4th, so we were running around the neighborhood at night with the fireworks going off. And we shot for that month. That's that movie is on the horizon, and that's kind of like I think it's, it feels kind of like a Wizard of Oz chronicle about this boy who's stumbling through a strange nightmare version of Los Angeles and meets some twisted characters along the way as he journeys towards redemption and possible downfall. So working on that right now, and then I'm not sure what's next. I've been scrounging my head for a new idea, but it hasn't revealed itself to me yet. But yeah, so just working on developing that, and taking time with the teaching stuff right now.
When you consider doing a production, let's say a movie or show, whatever, does it usually fit into present times or future times or antiquity or or whatever? What era do you generally try to?
Yeah, I think it's really important to me to have a conversation with stuff in my immediate world. I think I used to be into the idea of like pure fantasy of invention and creating something that's maybe like a man in armor from medieval times, right? Playing with these like older ideas, but realizing that it's kind of just it's just an invention, and it kind of lacks it didn't feel as genuine to me. So I think right now I'm more interested in like how weird everything is in our reality. Like, I don't know, I walked to get like a COVID test yesterday, which is like a weird thing to do with like a whole lineup of people, and like got this test, put this thing in this like plastic vial, and was walking home, and like on the street corner saw this like big empty jug of like Tide bleach next to an empty container of chicken livers, like on the street corner. And just seeing stuff like that is just like it's just so strange, and like that's real world, and that's the type of, that's what I want to try to tap into with my stuff. I don't know, just like to imagine who was using this thing of bleach and eating a thing of chicken livers, right? Like, it's just, I don't know.
I don't know if you listened to one of our previous episodes, but that's a callback joke. We had somebody on here that promoted chicken liver to eat.
Oh,
it's pretty healthy.
The heart
and
surgeon.
Yeah, I don't think he hit anything with bleach in there in the episode, but I'm sure we can tie it in. It was a sign. Yeah, I like that. I'm sorry.
I guess it was a thing. My mom's generation, once they would eat the same thing. Like every Tuesday would be, whatever, like meatloaf. Wednesday would be, they called it bullets and saddles. This would have been in like the mid 50s, early 60s, and it was boiled chicken livers and chicken hearts, and they called it bullets and saddles because the bullets, chicken hearts are kind of in the shape of bullets, and saddles are kind of look like chicken livers. I don't know. That always stuck with me, just that slang.
Sounds like gourmet. The United States of insanity. Anyhow.
Hey, you guys doing any New Year's resolutions this year?
I'm done with
Why?
those resolutions.
What do you mean?
I just want to go. I feel like I've put so much pressure on that New Year's resolution thing for like probably the last decade, and I'm not into having that weighty expectation anymore. It just stresses me out.
Would you fail your resolution?
I guess so. Or I'd be like, you need to do you need to be in this place by the end of time next year. If you're not, it's just like didn't help me do anything. It just made me feel like I was, not living up to hardline expectations. So I'm not gonna make any resolutions this year. I'm gonna put my keys on the map and see where I go.
I like. What, Brandon? What about you?
Man, I mean, I remember, I remember like 3 years ago. This feels like it just happened. Like, all right, I'm going to like start like working hard and having like good days. And so I think January 2nd of that year, I like scheduled everything I was gonna do, and like lived out each part of the day as like I wanted to accomplish it. And I got to the end of the day and like I did it successfully. And then the last thing I was supposed to do was do, was do it for the next day. And I still haven't done it yet, and it's been 3 years. So I don't know. I was thinking,
Isn't that how it goes?
I was thinking like maybe I'll do it again this year. Maybe I'll pick it back up. But like almost every day for the last 3 years, I think about like, man, I should really like keep this going because that was a really good day.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. You'll have your resolutions will be all nice and like, I want to exercise every day. I want to bring up my credit score. I want to do that, and it just whittles down, and suddenly it's just like, just be okay.
Well,
Just wake up this morning.
it didn't whittle down for me. By January
That's my
4th, I was
resolution.
done. I was
No,
I literally
were done.
only did it that one day, and that was like maybe the happiest I've been in years. That was such a good day.
Wait, what happened? What's on the list?
I like woke up early and did some writing, and I worked out, and I got all of my little tasks done, and I haven't done that since. So
It was just the wake up routine. What else was
man,
on
we're
there?
going back years now.
that's what I'm saying. You like do like so little just to like bring a little bit of
Yeah.
happiness, and then just gets
Yeah,
ripped
I
away.
remember, I was getting when I was like debating it, I was like, all right, I have this idea for like beautiful story that I think is viral, and I'm gonna sit down, and if I can write this, then I'm just gonna see what happens, and I apply for the job, and I got like 9 lines in out of like 100 pages I wanted to do, and I was so what are your guys' presents? Finance?
Which guys you talking to? Well, mine is to not have any New Year's resolution. That's my resolution.
I feel so lame because I'm about to be lame. But New Year's is like my favorite holiday because I get to make lists. It's perfect for my personality type. I like doing things. I like making a list and but also, you know what though? I'm very not hard on myself. I'm usually patting my back the whole way through. I'm like, fine, it's just all right. You're doing great. Even if I don't get close to it, I'm like, you're still pretty cool though. But no, yeah, I'm looking forward to. Oh yeah, my list. Same old. Drawing, writing. That's about it.
Finest, do you have any new drawings to show us?
I put some on the wall back here. They're hanging up. I drew this like today. Hey,
Lovely.
Looks like me.
I'm drawing faces.
Who is it? Who is
I'm trying
that?
to draw bodies. I'm just drawing stickers to stick around the city.
Dang, those faces looked really good.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Was it or is it a character? Is it a new character? Is it somebody you were basing it on?
Oh no! I mean, I'm just learning facial structures from a book, and honestly, I think it's funny that I'm drawing them. It's all white men, and there's no like representation. So now I'm just putting down really bad quotes and just tagging around the city to be my little like,
What's
jack
one
of the
other
system.
quote?
This one says, "You don't understand how it feels to be looked at as the enemy." And they're like, I'm like, see past your own nose, because a lot of white men I talk to are like, oh, we're the enemy now, and everyone hates us. And I'm like, oh, woe is you. It must be. I don't know how it feels to walk into a room and not feel like I got to keep my hood down, so I don't like an enemy, you asshole. Yeah, that's my joke. So look around, you'll see it around the city.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, I might give it to a white man just to make it feel good.
one's like, hey, excuse
In
me,
New
sir,
York
can
City,
I,
right, Phines?
like,
No. I'll wait first. I won't just assume. I don't make assumptions. I'll wait for them to say, "This is me and my woes," and then I'll go, "Here, the stickers for you."
It was pretty cool. You said, Finest, that you have like a very strong inner voice that, saying, you're doing fine, you're still pretty cool. Have you always had such a, like a really positive inner voice? Have you always had that voice? Have you developed it? Because that's something that's, my inner voice is very, very critical. And so I'm, trying to develop a more positive inner voice. How has your journey been towards finding that?
Oh, thank you, Francis. Well, I'm pretty dark humor anyway, so I'm pretty just as critical in my head, but also, it's you only live once. I don't really, it's just like, yeah, I can be shitty about and I am shitty about I do say bad things to myself, but I'm also like, oh well. But I will say the thing that kind of helped me the most is journaling a lot, because in the very beginning, if I look at my journals now, which I hate to look at, in the very, very beginning, I was so critical of myself. Like the whole journal, like I start off going, I'm just going to write every day. And then I spent most of the day just writing about how bad I was. Just like how just bad stuff. Like I need to focus on this. You need to do this better and this and this and that. And then as I kept writing each day, I got bored with that. Then you start writing about like, oh, this is what I did today. And then you start talking about yourself so much. So you kind of start I think the moral of the story is I stopped thinking about myself so much. And then I started focusing on like things outside of me. So then, I don't know, kind of made me feel, it at least took my mind off of how much a piece of shit I am,
It kind of exhausts, because you focus so much on it in the beginning, it kind of just like exhausted it or something.
Yeah, I feel like in the beginning, that's all you do know is your own feelings and who you are. But I think after a while, you just start going like, oh, I noticed this on the train, and I saw this person, and they were looking like this, and they said this, and you start listening to more of that type of thing. And then, some people, at least for me, I kind of got, I think I learned to be less egotistical, I think, about things in a roundabout way.
And you did it at the end of the day before you went to bed or something?
No, I would just write throughout. I'm also very flexible. I just keep a journal with me, and anytime throughout the day, I would just write something down.
Got it.
And then, just kind of fill it out. As long as I got done with the page, I guess. And then sometimes I write really big, and then sometimes I would just write word the whole time. But then I was like, hey, I did it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess small goes into, I don't know, so know that you're doing great all the time. Because who's going to tell you you're not besides you, I guess? I mean, other people will too, but who do you really care about besides yourself,
Mm-hmm.
Or is that just me? Uh-oh, I need to work on the ego still.
No, it's a big, I know when somebody, it's like hard for me to say that within myself. So when somebody else says it to me, it's like a huge like revelation almost.
Said what? What did you?
Well, if somebody, I don't hear it much in my own head. So if somebody else says you're doing okay, feels really big.
You're doing okay, meaning what? Like your work is good?
Not even that. Just like sure that feels nice too, but just you're an okay guy.
Yeah. I was doing something on love languages, or at least looking it up. It sounds like words of affirmation are something that would probably be like good to remember for yourself, maybe. I can record it. I'm a podcaster now. I can just have a voice in and say, "Hey, Spencer, I'm winking right now. You're doing great."
Spencer, can you like read out like a line from your present writing today? You act out a line, or is that not something?
I don't have anything that I've written since Brandon and I's movie. Let me see if I can pull up.
Well, if you and Brandon can do it together too, I don't care either way. But
Let me see if
I just wanted to hear what it sounds like. One of your writings.
Oh, I'm seeing the cowboy sides. Remember those, Brandon?
Oh yeah.
I'm not seeing anything immediate in my email here.
What kind of character? You're saying a cowboy?
This was a little scene that we shot for Brandon. Wow, I'm getting emails from June 10th, 2014, Brandon.
Me?
It's a picture from you, and it looks like you're in Italy.
Right.
From your theater box at me.com. I'll send you the picture right now. This is 2014. Let's see if you recognize this.
Grandpa, Spencer's films are very visual. Well, so
Oh, is that what I've been watching?
what?
You said it's visual. Is that what I've been watching? The
The
visual
film?
part of the play.
Got him.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite part of filmmaking thus far?
I think I've had the most fun in situations where it feels like we're discovering together, and I don't know, like just like things are happening magnetically around us as we're shooting. One of the nights that we shot, we were shooting on this like freeway overpass in the neighborhood, and was shooting a scene with Brandon and my friend Moses, and we had a written scene. Brandon's character Mickey meets this clown. It's this man huddled in this blanket on a bridge, and his face is painted white, and he has red lipstick on, and he meets this clown who's been hurt and abused by somebody, and he asks for Brandon's help. And I don't know, just like it felt, the place that we were in on this like overpass over like a 20-lane highway, and like nobody around at night. Like it felt like we weren't even really in Los Angeles anymore, and it just felt like we were, we had our script, and we had that skeleton to work off of, but it felt like, I don't know, there was just like so many moments to like, capturing crazy stuff in real time that we couldn't have imagined. And I don't know, it just felt like, going on like, this crazy adventure. So situations like that, where it's just like pieces are coming together and in that way. Yeah.
Nice.
What's the hardest part about filmmaking?
I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with expectation, and having a vision for what the movie is moving towards, but also relinquishing some of that hardcore expectation and allowing it to become its own thing. I think relinquishing that control is a really hard thing. but letting it find its own voice. Yeah.
What do you just because I like talking about this? What's your opinion on expectations? Like, what do you expectations like for on you or the project itself? Like,
I think both. What that the you go into a project and you want this want the movie to be as good as it can be, right? And for me, I think that often that's that type of weight I've found to be paralyzing sometimes. Like wanting to make something great has gotten my critical perspective on whatever I'm writing or shooting. It's frozen it sometimes, and it hasn't allowed it to just be something that I'm making in the moment because I have.
Sorry, do you like? I know this is a really hard question to ask because I really feel you. I'm just asking this because I want to poke. What do you have in your when you say people expect something from me? Yeah, do you have like it in your head like what it is? Is it like a perfection thing? Like I have this vision of what is perfect for this person and I want to reach that, or is it something different? Like, cause I guess I'm projecting because that's what I feel like when someone asks me to like, I don't know, do a commission or something, a draw for them, or draw something for them. I really have a hard time doing it because I'm like, it never can go like it's never the way I want it to be, like or what I expect for them to like. How do I put this in words? I don't think I could ever give them what they wanted, type of thing. I don't know if that's kind of you feel that same similarity with expectations, or if you don't, do you get through it? You just kind of, I mean, you make movies.
I think I know what you mean. Just the expectation of making something for, I guess somebody, yeah, I guess of making something for somebody else, and then it's also like my own imagined set of like expectations on myself, and rising to some type of expectation of what the movie needs to be. But I know that my favorite movies are ones that feel like they are when you don't feel like such a heavy hand of the creator, right? When it's able to when a movie is able to find its own life, and there is a looseness to it, and there's an easygoing quality to it. Those are my favorite movies. When I see this needs to say this and that needs to say that. When I see such a hardcore intention behind it, usually I have a harder time connecting to it in a real way. So I don't know. It's kind of a catch-22.
Oh no, it seems like you have a better articulation of expectations than I do because I just go out there going, I want perfection and have no idea how to like say what I want. I'm just out there just which is dangerous because I can't. At least you got an idea, which is cool.
Yeah, the perfectionist thing. Like I've grown up with such an obsession over like perfection in all ways. Very, OCD, obsession with like having myself be perfect. Anything that I'm making be perfect, and it feels productive, right? Like you're obsessing over something for so long that you think you're putting in the work, but I don't know. My experience now is that that hasn't helped me at all. Like it's taken the fun out of stuff. It hasn't gotten me to be any more productive. That's why I'm with Grandpa about having no New Year's resolutions this year, right? Because that type of expectation on things that I need to do, it's only like frozen me up because I've just drilled into it so hard. So
Yeah.
I don't know what the answer is because in real time I'm trying to work it out for myself. It's kind of my big conflict.
Spencer, when I watch a film, the background music, what they're trying, the aura they're trying to give, the lighting, and they're all very important. The angle of the film, the angle of the focus, and so forth. Do you get involved in those things?
my recent projects have all been, it's been me and the actors. So I've been shooting everything myself, and I shoot in a very like, with a single lens in a very, documentary kind of way. So we're just shooting in real time, rolling the camera continuously, and we're shooting in I shoot like almost 100% outdoors in real life locations. So it's kind of just like searching for the right spots, and moving around when the light shifts, etc. So just adapting to the geography. So my sensibility recently has been like very very in the moment, right? As opposed to structured, setting everything up for a while. And I don't know what's next. Maybe I can find some type of balance between the two things.
I purchased a cinema camera, not realizing how different shooting video is than a single shot, which I've done over the years, and I hadn't done any video, and I purchased a real professional camera, and really thinking about selling it because it was fairly expensive and not really using it. I thought maybe Brandon would be interested in doing something, but he hasn't really shown any interest. So, what type of equipment do you shoot with?
It's right now. It's just this little camera it's called a Black Magic pocket camera.
Oh, I'm very familiar. In fact, I had one.
That's the one.
And I got rid of it for this. Yeah, I had a Black Magic, and I got rid of it for. I bought a Sony FX6. I don't know if you know what that is.
Dang, Brandon, you don't want an FX6? That's a great camera.
Yeah, I just bought it, but it's fairly complicated for somebody that's not familiar with video.
Yeah, that's an exciting new camera that just came out recently.
Learning curve. So I haven't really done anything with it, but I do high-end audio, and I think that's important to have real good quality sound in any production that you do.
Yeah, I'm still figuring that out. I need to work, you get to be working with the sound engineer on set.
So yeah, the Black Magic is quite a good camera. Great camera.
Yeah, I like it. Brandon, you got to use that FX6.
This is the first time he's mentioned it to me.
Really?
Come on, man. Get the camera. Blow up your TikTok career right now.
The thing with cameras is when I shoot a 4K video and then I upload it to one of these sites to send for acting, they always compress it to like what is it, 720p or whatever. So none of it matters. And like I spend
1080.
Why are you shooting in 4K for?
Well,
is it an audition?
Yeah,
or is
exactly. Well, it's just like there's no like you spend so much time like making the lighting good and then getting like a lav on your shirt or whatever, and then it gets compressed to shit and it looks terrible. And I realized that recently. I was like, why do my tapes always look worse on the website? And it's because they all get compressed.
Might be worse because it is.
Yeah,
4K.
maybe.
Be like, I can't handle this much power.
I always wondered, like, when I'm filming, it's like, oh, it looks so good, and then my head looks like a potato when I look back at my footage. Recently figured out why. It's because they compress it.
I'll do that.
What's it like working with actors? Favorite part, least favorite part?
I think it can be, I don't know. I think it's like, like that night that we went to the bridge, like it really felt like, like, I don't know, the lines between like director and actor felt pretty blurred that night, that the time that we went to that, the bridge with you and Moses and carrying those giant inflatable balloons. Because his character finds these balloons drifting on the bridge, and those lead him to the derelict clown. So I don't know, that just felt like we were experiencing some weird version of reality together, and that's at its peak. I think like when we can look at each other eye to eye and develop something symbiotically. Yeah, I mean, those are the best and most cherished memories, I think. Like when all of our, when your emotions are there and when my emotions are there, like, I don't know, we can connect in a pretty, wordless way when when the situation's right.
What about when shit sucks? Working with actors.
Yeah.
Tell us about the negative.
Give us your early filmmaker horror story.
I mean, I think I would, like, when I was, like, in my more insecure, anxious moments on set, I'd be like frantic and mind blank, not being able to think about what to do next. And the idea of like directing with an actor was like, I don't know, it's like this like intellectual idea of like, you need to do this, but like, but in a sad, just thinking in like, just words, right? Like, you need to do this sadder or something, right? Like, I don't know. It's just like, it just felt like an intellectual, anxious exercise. Yeah, I don't know. It's also like really like, to be on set, like people are relying on you, and especially the actors, right? Like you're asking a lot of the people that you're with. And, I've been in some very, very difficult situations, especially with Brandon when we made our project at NYU together. Like it was a very physically arduous production. Like, I don't know, we were walking through a lot of mud and catastrophe every day. So it's just like that weighs a lot on like making something together. So it's like, I don't know, it's a lot of stress management, and yeah, again, like trying to work towards the ideal situation where everybody's kind of on the same emotional level, or just allowing it to be that without forcing it.
Don't name names, but talk about the worst, most awful experience with an actor that you've ever had, and why it sucks so much.
I mean, there was a, like on Snaggletooth, there was that scene in like the flooded basement of that like castle that we were shooting in, and like with just like wading through mud to like shoot this like terrible scene with this box of spiders. Yeah, it was like people, it was like freezing mud, and we were shooting this scene, and it was just like on the edge of like this has to stop kind of thing. Yeah, like that's up there for sure. Yeah.
like a box of prop spiders.
Nope.
There were real spiders.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was just like these catastrophe situations that were like, we're part of the story, but like I don't want to make something that requires such destruction from everybody.
No. Well, like,
So
yeah. Sorry, go Sierra.
I have more spider questions.
Yeah.
So if I can just go find the movie and watch it, just tell me where to find it. But is it like, are the spiders trained, or like are there multiple takes with the spiders, or do you have to get a new box of spiders every time we have a retake? How did the spiders work?
There was this like treasure box, and there were live spiders that I had like ordered online, and then they were in the box, and then after we shot, I let them go. But
Wow. Good for you.
but yeah, I mean, so that was a whole nother thing, like working with all these bugs. Like,
No, could never.
no, I don't want to ever do that again. What were you gonna say, Brandon?
Oh no, I wasn't referring to like difficult scene, or maybe you're talking about, but just a time where an actor was so difficult to work with, and that feeling, like, I don't know. Do you have any of those experiences?
Spencer's too nice.
Nothing like antagonistic. Nothing that like the person was like, that there was like an angry undercurrent there. It'd be difficult to like find the right tenor for the character, but I don't think nothing like that's destroyed me.
That's good. That's really
Yeah. Why? What do you have any?
Because actors have that with directors all the time.
So then name one of yours.
I mean, there's just like a lot of I guess it makes sense because an actor doing it to a director, like you, like yelling at your boss. But there's a lot of like, and maybe it's not even to me, but even in college or especially like New York. Oh God. Oh my God. I've had some weird fucking theater experiences in New York.
What happened?
There's this one time where he called me. I was with my ex at the time, and I didn't respond to something in 5 minutes, and he called like my personal cell phone like 6 times in a row, and was like, oh, "Come in for a call." Like I haven't even taken a job yet, and I get down there, and it's like I thought like it gets described as a rehearsal studio that we're meeting at for this callback, but it ends up being there's like a shed in the back of this house, and there's a chainsaw like right at the door, like propped up. And that was like the start of a really terrible. I mean, yeah, I've had a lot of bad experiences with directors.
Wait, what happened?
You skipped it. Yeah. You skipped a couple pages.
Oh, I mean, yeah, he was just a creep. That was
just a display chainsaw.
Yeah, it was just very weird.
Was the scene with a chainsaw or something?
No, chainsaw had nothing to do with anything.
Not related.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, no, I mean, I would say it's probably more frequent that like directors yell at actors, or there's a lot of like very tough emotional experiences that an actor has with the director than vice versa. But I was curious if that was true, not true, whatever.
Yeah, nothing too glamorous to share.
Yeah, most directors are very yeah.
Have you been working out, Brandon?
Walk away for a minute. Rosie just gave me a nasty bite.
No, where'd you get bit, Grandpa?
On my hand.
Are you bleeding?
A little bit, but not bad. She doesn't do it. She doesn't intentionally try to hurt me. She doesn't realize. It's like scissors.
Okay, just make sure you clean it. Yeah.
Oh no, don't, Grandpa.
So when you see me moving around like I've got some sort of a disorder, she's nipping at me.
You didn't just lick the blood.
I'm gonna walk away from that. Clean this up.
I think you did.
Yeah, you didn't see. He put it right up there when it happened.
Well, I guess when dogs lick their wounds and stuff, I guess their saliva has something like antiseptic in it.
Yeah, I don't believe that at all.
I believe it with a dog, but does ours?
They have a mouthful of shit.
I've seen lots of people do that. You know what? I'm gonna look it up.
I don't think ours.
Absolutely disgusting. Oh man, what do you guys think the next year looks like?
Piss.
Hot.
It feels like, I don't know. It feels like it's going to be a similar rhythm of, like, I don't know, COVID anxiety.
How many more variants do you think we're gonna have?
Yeah, it feels like every.
And I think an infinite until we die for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you mean the flu is, there's still a new, wave every year, and some of that has been going on since like 1910s, right?
Yeah.
But on the bright side,
I mean, we talk about the future in a good way and a bad way.
Yeah, what do you think, Phines?
Death. No, just
not in this next year. Holy shit, dude! No, I'd be so sad.
It's gonna be a tough one for us as people, but good thing I'm in a privileged situation, because I'll be okay for at least a good couple more years until they start messing with my water, and then I'll really be complaining. But for right now, I think I'll live to die another day and be happy, and I don't know. It's gonna be it's gonna be a good-ish year.
It's great.
Yeah.
Anything you want to happen in the next year, Phines? Any hopes or dreams put out there?
None I want to put out there because then I'll just ruin it.
Don't jinx me.
Yeah, I'll just jinx myself, But I'll save some superficial ones so that it make me. So then, if I get it, I can be happy about it. I would love to not live from check to check. That'd be great. I can live like 4 to 5 checks ahead of time. It'd be great.
4 to 5 is a lot.
I know. I'm hoping.
But that's what they always say, like you're supposed to be. Just like that's the norm.
Shit.
When they know damn well it's not. They're like, yeah, why don't you have $5,000 in savings? Why don't you where are your stock options?
Yeah.
What are you hopeful for, Brandon? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I guess Phines has a good point that we don't want to say it, then ruin everything. And then I love how he said, he's like, I don't want to say anything that I really want, so I'll just say I hope to not be living paycheck to paycheck. Just to point that out there, he is not afraid at all of that not coming true.
I know. This time next year, I'll be saying the same thing. Like,
yeah. 2 to 3. All right, one. Well, I want to be 1 paycheck ahead.
I don't want my landlord to be knocking on my door right now.
Yeah. Have you guys not found the beauty of 0 APR credit cards?
No.
Yeah. I hope I want to take my brother to Dragon Con next Labor Day. That would be cool.
Whoa, tell me about that.
It's like this convention that is like Comic-Con but a lot better. And it was the most fun I've had all year.
You went recently?
I went last Labor Day. Yeah.
And is it dragon themed, like reptilian dragon?
Pop culture, but it's like the best, like rated the best. One of those like nerdy.
Did you dress up and stuff like that?
Harry Potter.
Nice.
Dragon.
You got a scar on your forehead and stuff like that?
I did, yeah. I would go with. Who would you guys be?
For Dragon Con?
Yeah.
Maybe somebody from the Matrix. I kind of want some Matrix style stuff.
Can you be anybody, or does it have to be a dragon?
No, anybody. Mostly no dragon.
Oh, well, that's sad.
I want to be the one that has no teeth from that movie. How to Train Your Dragon?
Toothless?
Is that his name?
Yeah, it's toothless.
All right.
Because they don't have no baby teeth.
That's what I'm
going to be that old man from Dragon Tales.
Oh,
okay. I love
really
Dragon
old
Tales.
dragon.
Wait, there's an old man.
Right? Yeah, the old man dragon.
You know, a good joke online that's a little child did to me is like, he was like, hey, do you like dragons? And I had this whole conversation about dragons and all this. And he was like, oh, cool. I like dragging these nuts across your face and then beat me up. And it was like Halo. And that's what this reminded me of.
Halo that happened?
Yeah, or some party where some kid, we're in the same party, so I know he wasn't against me. So this is my teammate.
Yeah.
That was just like,
how old were you?
He sounded, I was like 18, 19. I was an adult. I was all into this conversation about dragons, and then I was taken completely off guard.
I love how you could be like 48 and hear it and still be like, oh god, he really got you.
There's nothing you can do.
When you just walk into it,
Really
it's like,
fucked.
dang it. Oh, you can't even express your love for dragons without someone ruining it.
Anyway,
Jumping on your neck.
the long haul too, a 5-minute conversation.
I feel like we really talked about dragons for a while, like all the dragons we like.
And was the whole point just for him to say that, or no? He
Yeah,
got the urge at the
he
end?
started the conversation. I think he started the conversation thinking it was just gonna be a joke, and we all started talking about dragons. So, or at least me, we started talking about dragons so passionately that he was like, "Oh, this is way
He's
too
like,
easy."
you like dragons, and everybody's like, holy fuck, did you see Dragon Tales? I would dress up as the older one. He's like, yeah, what about you? Dragging these nuts across your face.
Yeah, eating.
Man.
That's funny as fuck.
I don't. Are you talking about the yellow dragon, the old
Yeah, the old man dragon.
Quetzal?
Is he like all their dad or something? Yeah. I don't know what he does.
There's an
but I just
adult
remember
blue
him.
dragon, but then there's like a really old.
Isn't that the one? Aren't those the ones that are stuck together? They're weird. They're like there's like two siblings that are stuck together, like conjoined twins.
Yeah, but they're younger.
Double-headed dragon.
It's
I used
weird.
to fucking. I have serious FOMO for everything.
Wait, for fantastical stuff.
Yeah,
Hey,
like
dragons?
there's no dragons or elves.
And you feel like you're missing out.
Yeah, that's, like I just sit and feel sad. There's no dragon.
Just
Like
wakes
you
up
feel
in the
missing
middle
out.
of the night.
You know, if dragons didn't exist, who do you feel? Who are you jealous of that dragons actually that it got to experience it?
Like, nobody real. We were talking about the multiverse before, so that there's an infinite number. So there is a place with dragons.
Yeah.
Or he was talking about Jesus. One of the two.
Do you like Edward Scissorhands?
That's a strange movie that I've never seen. I know
Edward
Oh,
it means
man.
scissor hands across
You
your face.
should yeah, right. Oh man, you
stupid,
ruined it
dude.
for me. I'm just thinking of Tim Burton films now.
Yeah, I don't know how I've never seen it, but I never have.
It's a pretty good
He's
one.
an old
I like it.
old filmmaker, right?
Oh, yeah, he made a Planet of the Apes movie that was really bad. I mean, I thought it was okay.
Which one? The new ones?
No, he just made they rebooted before they rebooted it, like during like the 90s or something.
Ooh.
He made one, and it was a Tim Burton film. It was like Tim Burton making Planet of the Apes, so it was I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why he picked that movie to make. It just didn't seem up his alley.
What would your advice be to filmmakers, Spencer? Young filmmakers.
I think the advice would be to, it's something that I'm still figuring out, but to let go of expectation of what a particular project needs to be. To, if you feel excited about a certain topic, then jump out there when that inspiration is feeling exciting and fun, and let it happen, and try to, I think let go of having the expectation that it needs to represent anything in your life or needs to become something so magnificent. Just capture something that feels exciting for you in the moment. Let go of that pressure, and that's something that I'm struggling with right now. So, but I think that's what I would say.
And make sure the audio is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Don't fuck up the audio.
I just did I did a short film like 8 months ago, and I felt I can't remember if it was before or after I went to LA, but I did a short where I it was like maybe 15 minutes, but I was the lead, and I felt like so fucking good about like the work and stuff. It was amazing. And then because of COVID, I was like, they did a couple of us our ADR. They did our like dubbing our lines remotely, and then I saw the finished product, and like the film was so good, but the audio was such shit. It was like I was talking, it was like this, it's like yeah, guys, like that.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my god!
Like literally,
what?
like,
That's terrible.
do you want to go out with me?
Oh my
I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
and it's like unusable. I can't show it to a reel, but I have the original rough cut with shitty audio, and it's like a very good film. So I was so mad.
Amateurs. That makes me it makes you so sad when you like put all the work in and you watch everybody else like in their different roles like put all the work in, and then it gets down to like one bozo like in one tiny portion of like the whole process that just
There's
that
literally
just the whole thing.
literally one of my last lines. Like, I guess he thought you couldn't see my lips because I'm facing away from camera. It's my back and another character's front. But you literally see, like, me go like this. Yeah, let's go. Like,
God.
in the film. It's
I
insane.
remember-
By like a whole
How about if you
second.
make a movie? How about if you make a movie only for lip readers?
There you go.
Yeah, it could be
You
a
know
film.
what? I'll make that. I'll put this into the ether. I'll make that my resolution. I'll make a short this year. Next year. I'll make a short next year, 22.
And-
But no, I remember I had someone when I was in school. I remember arguing with someone on several different occasions on a project because they didn't think that like background music or a score of any kind needed to be in the film. And it was like a regular, like it wasn't something experimental or something very brief. It was like a standard narrative, like sequential short with like it wasn't experimental. There were no beats, and he was like, "You don't really need music," and I'm like, "You don't." Well, we don't have sound effects. We don't have. There's nothing else going on, so it's either raw audio or like we weren't even at the point of like ADR or anything, but just like we don't need music. We just don't.
Yeah. Spencer is
On like a 15-minute. It was like a 15-minute piece with no extra sound effects, no anything. They're like, "This is fine."
yeah,
And how did it go? That sounds
probably
awful.
terribly.
It wasn't a good semester.
Yeah. Spencer's very good. Like, I feel like it makes your movies come together, Spencer. Like the ambiance and the audio. It's yeah.
Yeah, working with Bob is such a joy. Just creating like crazy ambient soundscapes and building sound effects and stuff in the distance. I want to try to start using music. Actually, I think the Mickey movie. I want to have some type of musical element.
Yeah.
Well, guys, you want to do last thoughts for the whole year of 2021?
Is this the last episode of 20? Yes, it has to be, of course.
Yeah. New Year's like tomorrow, pretty much.
My last thought is just hang in there and just keep improving your craft, and eventually something good will come up for you.
It's good. It's good.
Finest.
Yeah. I think that Spencer specifically should reconsider making the goals for yourself, not because to meet expectations, but to lean into failure. Because it seems like your perfection may be fear-based more than perfectionism. I believe in you. I think you're gonna do it. Go fail. Go fail this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really cool thought. Interesting.
Makes a lot of sense.
You're about to give him a very anxious year, Finest.
No, just know you're gonna fail, bro. Just go in there and go, I'm gonna, just fail. Just go have fun, not meeting people's expectations.
Yeah, there's something that feels totally stress-free and joyous about that.
Say you're gonna do something and just
Don't even.
just do it, and if you don't, that's what you're leaning for is a failure. Don't even worry about it. I mean, you can do it, but
And how do you even define failure?
not getting what he wants done. I'll say it today. I'm like, hey, like for me, my thing is I'm gonna draw 365 pictures in a year, right? I doubt I do that, but I bet I do like 200. And guess what? That's 200 more than somebody else. 200 more than I did beforehand. 200 more than whatever. I don't know. So I'm like, you can just fail, and it's okay.
Yeah. I experience the joy of it every single day.
Yeah, exactly. Look at him. Look at the smile on his face. Look at all that love and joyousness. You got eyes of someone that living
High
great.
as hell. No.
That was just me.
Sierra, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I just want to say, everybody, in the spirit of 2021, get it together and don't ever pull this shit again. I don't want to see it next year. I don't want to see it in 4 days. 5. I don't know. Don't do it again. And next year is going to be probably really chaotic, but I think it's going to be a nice prep station for 23. That's my thought.
Sierra is, of course, referring to the beginning of the year cancellation of the ice cream festival.
For sure.
Grandpa, are you okay?
Just all of 2021, just never do it again. Any of it. Don't you dare.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to go to at least a few ice cream festivals this year.
Not those kinds, Spencer.
I've been eating a lot of ice cream the past week, some very experimental flavors. I got a hot ice cream tip, maple syrup on vanilla ice cream. Delicious. Delicious.
Oh.
I've been putting maple syrup on a lot of stuff, my cereal, and especially my ice cream.
Just on everything.
And I love it. Yeah, really special to spend some time with y'all on the edge. I don't know. It's I think you guys have such a, it feels like I'm interacting with one brain or something. And you know how you have like the left and the right brain. It feels like I have left, west, east, north, and south brain over here.
Which is which?
All like, what's that?
Which is which?
I think Sierra is south, Grandpa is north, Phines is east, and Brand is west coast. Yeah. But yeah, you got, I don't know, it feels like a singular entity, and like, powerful ingredients of shared and high contrast perspective, and getting to know you guys a little bit here, and then in the last episode, it's a really cool spice into my brain. I know.
Were you nervous doing your first full podcast ever?
I don't think nervous going into it. I think the idea of like sustaining dialogue for a long term, for like over an hour, like definitely had some difficulty there. I don't think nervous was there, but it was more like continuous dialogue is a difficult thing, I think.
Oh, yeah, we don't have to. Sometimes we just sit here and awkwardly look at each other. Those are some of my favorite.
Good night, gentlemen. I wish you a good year.
I don't have time for this.
And then Grandpa's like, I fucking hate all of you.
He said, I almost got KIA this episode. Let me get out of here.
Yeah, Happy New Year, y'all.
Happy New Year. I love you, Grandpa.
New Year.
Great show.
Podcasting with Grandpa Bart and Rosie, always on his shoulder. This is Grandpa and Chill.
Grandpa and Chill is brought to you by your hosts, Brandon Fox, Bart Frank, and Phines Jackson. Our producer is Sierra Doss. You can find episodes old and new on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch the show, and follow us on Twitter for behind-the-scenes moments you can't get anywhere else.